Everybody. Good morning, community members, city staff, and distinguished guests. I'm so pleased to see you all here today. My name is Anthony V. Lopez. I am the city manager for the City of Avenal. And lucky for all of you, I'll be the one emceeing today's program. I'll be helping introduce all our speakers. We have quite a number of them, as you've seen, because this goes to show how much work it takes to get this project going. I promise it'll be a quick program and everyone will have time for pictures, touring the building, and hopefully, if you haven't already, get a quick snack. I just want to say again how happy I am to see everyone here. As you hear from each of our guests, the Avenal Community Center project has been a labor of love from both the City Council and City staff. Now, thankfully, we have the support from our elected officials at the county and state level, hearing out the community's needs and helping make our dreams into a reality. Well, without further ado, I would like to first ask the Avenal Police Chief, Rusty Stivers, to help us lead in the flag salute and kick off the event.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. We're going to do a flag salute. If you'll join me. Ready, salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chief, you want to sing the national anthem?
I didn't have that on the program. Next time, though, you'll practice. All right, thank you, Chief Stivers. Chief is one of two remaining original members of the Avenal Police Department, which went online back in September of 2010. Chief Stivers has seen it all here in Avenal and has been a big proponent of the community center, where all our local youth leagues and even PAL groups will one day host their practices and tournaments and really help bring the community together and keep our youth out of trouble. Thank you again, Chief. Next, I would like to invite Father Henry Agua of St. Joseph's Catholic Church here in Avenal to do the invocation. Father Henry recently moved to Avenal earlier this year and has quickly taken to the community and embraced all our local projects and likewise encouraging our youth and families to stay active in the community. Father Henry, please come up.
Lord our God, we are gathered here this morning for the well-being of our community. We commend our activities of today into the great hands of God. We ask Him to bless our land, to bless our leaders and our entire people. May all we do today bring glory to His holy name, and may He grant success to the work of our hands. Thank you for granting us here, for gathering us here. Lead all those who came from far and near safely home at the end of today's activities. For this we pray. Amen.
All right. God bless you, Father Henry, and thank you for all that you do for Avenal. All right. Now it is my turn to speak a little bit about the Community Center project. As many of you know, Avenal is my hometown, and I'm proud of it. After graduating AHS in 2010, I left to pursue my undergrad degree at Georgetown in Washington, D.C., and afterwards was able to spend time with my parents on our cattle ranch in Mexico. I was fortunate enough to come back and return to Avenal full-time in early 2017, and soon after started my career in local government as the associate planner for the city. By then, this community center project was already well underway when the city was awarded $1.5 million from a 2016 CDBG Public Facilities Grant to construct the community center. Although I wasn't there for the inception, I could tell that a lot of work went into the application for initial funding, bringing together a lot of local youth groups, the local health clinics, Reef Sunset Unified School District, and of course, the community itself. Even before I graduated high school over a decade ago, I can recall my friends always lamenting the lack of a gym or exercise rooms for residents to go early in the morning or late in the evening. Of course, as students had the high school gym, but those weren't available unless you were playing a sport, and at times not available for the adults to use at all. Even today, if you were to randomly sample and ask community members what they think Avenal's number one needs are, besides a Starbucks or McDonald's, they will say a gym. Our community longs for a place to play basketball, play soccer, indoors, have a proper dance hall, and a room full of exercise equipment they can use early in the morning and late at night to complement their training at the great natural trails and hills that we have around us here in town. I would even be able to wager, unfortunately, that the lack of resources like a large community center is a big factor in the countless friends and families I and many of us know who have ended up moving away from Avenal because we have not been able to provide these services. You would think that after a global pandemic, the idea of a recreation center would be absurd, but it's quite the opposite here in Avenal. In fact, now more than ever, the community is demanding to know when the community center will be complete and when they can use it. This is such a need that even the city council recognized it as a priority earlier this year. With that being said, I'm appreciative of our local partners at Reef Sunset Unified School District that have gone out of their way to develop a new program at providing open gym hours for the community at their facilities here in Avenal and even Cattleman City. Although it's a stopgap for now, I hope our partnerships with community members like Reef Sunset continue and we can provide these recreational opportunities throughout Avenal and support a community focused on healthy living and healthy lifestyles. I could go on and on about the need for this facility and all the work going into making this a reality, but I'll stop right here and hand it over to our Community and Economic Development Director, Kanu Yang, who also started earlier at the city this spring and has carried the torch on this project and made it her priority since day one. Kanu?
All right, I'm so short, guys, so give me 1 second. I got it. Can you guys hear me? Alrighty. Well, thank you, City Manager Lopez. Thank you, everyone, Mayor, Council members, Chris Com, Supervisor Rowley, Assembly Member Salas, and Senator Hurtado, as well as the residents of Avenal. I'm very excited to be part of this project and to be part of this community. The Community Recreational and Sports Center here today will soon be hopefully a great epicenter and much needed and utilized facility for the community. As City Manager Lopez stated, this is a facility that is much needed for not only the use of the city, but also for the seniors, the athletes, the amateur bodybuilders, the residences who just want to pursue a healthy lifestyle, and the residences who want to work out closer to home. The vision of this community center is to bring our residents some of those amenities, such as a fitness center, closer to home without the 40 to 45-minute drive. The Community Recreational and Sports Center will include a full commercial kitchen to be utilized for events, vocational classes, a multi-purpose room that can function as a hall or dance room, a fully equipped fitness center with weights and equipment, a soccer field on the other side, and a full basketball court on the other. Once fully constructed, this facility will be the largest public facility in the city. Therefore, we are very grateful to receive the additional funding from the state through the offices of Assemblymember Salas and Senator Hurtado. This funding will help designate this facility as a cooling center for our residents and designate this to be a safe place of shelter during emergency times. In order for the city to continue progress on the construction to meet our goals of opening the facility, the city is consistently and constantly applying for additional funding, grants, and sponsorship. We will continue to work hard for the residents of Avenal, and we are very hopeful that we will accomplish this goal. I thank you all for the opportunity, and special thanks to Assemblymember Salas and Senator Hurtado as well as their team, and Chris Com for advocating for the city and continuing to hope in our people in this community. We sincerely appreciate it and look forward to your continued relationship and collaboration. Thank you.
There we go. Thank you again, Kanu. And honestly, we would not be here if it wasn't for Kanu. I thank you from the bottom of my heart and the rest of the city staff's work on this project. Next, my pleasure to introduce and ask Kings County District 2 Supervisor Richard Valley to give a few words as well about Avenal and the hard work he's done to help advocate for our communities here in Kings County. Whenever it's crunch time and we need someone to help push things to the finish line, we've always been fortunate to count on Supervisor Valley to get us the win. With that, help me in welcoming Supervisor Valley.
Thank you. Thank you, Anthony. Good morning, everybody. Hey, look, I'm gonna be quick here. This right here, Avenal has always been a town where that stresses teamwork, and it's people like Anthony, Canoe, your Avenal town that puts the package together and makes it easy for guys like me and for guys like Chuck Jaloin and the ChrisCom team to go to Sacramento and meet with our members like Assemblymember Salas and to be able to come back and say that we're all part of the team that delivered. And so, the day that we went to Sacramento, and I know you remember this, sir, this was probably in like February or March, when Chuck and I traveled to Sacramento, we couldn't even go in the Capitol building because of COVID. Assemblymember Salas met us at a coffee shop. We sat down. I was there that day to talk about Kettleman City and $2 million we needed to build a bridge out there over the highway. And so our conversation was quick, and then Assemblymember Salas went to Chuck Jaloin and said, "Chuck, what are you here for?" And Chuck said, "I'm here for Avenal." And he pulled out a big list, a huge list of things. And so, I want to tell that story because after all the work is done, the staff work, it's that kind of time there. And having members like Assemblymember Salas that represent us in Sacramento, the ability to go and for us to represent for you. And so, sir, thank you for listening to our community. I want to thank your staff, Alicia Ramirez and Damian Douglas, for this beautiful turnout here today, especially with the challenge of the fog. I see a lot of people. The Honorable Keith Fagundes is here, our district attorney, people who drove through the fog to be here with you today. And I'm going to close with this. Operation Gobble, 13th year in a row, right? This tells you what kind of town, city that Avenal is. I called last week. I told Anthony and Lupe Chavez I'm bringing 200 turkeys here to the community this Tuesday coming. And the Avenal City Council said we're going to match your 200 turkeys with 200 of our own and up it with 300 more chickens. So Operation Gobble is going to be beautiful. Next Tuesday, it's going down. Again, congratulations, City of Avenal. Thank you, Assemblymember Salas.
Appreciate it, Supervisor Valley. He's been working hard for Avenal for over a decade, and honestly, could not have anyone better in that seat pushing for the change we all know is desperately needed. Now to introduce another guest. Although he and his staff work in the background, he is definitely no stranger to Avenal and always advocating the best for our community and is a strategic partner helping us up at the Capitol. The president and CEO of the ChrisCom Company, Mr. Chuck Jaloin.
I thought the supervisor was going to be brief. You stole all my thunder. It's November, right? Santa Claus came early. Really, Rudy. I want to say a quick thank you to my staff, Jason Segan and Carol, that are always working hard for Avenal. And I also want to thank Tony and the council members and the mayor. It's their vision. We play a small role in trying to make that a reality. And I have to tell you, Sacramento, as Supervisor Valley said, it's a tough place to navigate. And here we have a representative that bails out of the Capitol, meets us in a coffee shop, wants to hear what's on our mind, and he's bringing good taxpayer dollars to good projects. That's what's important. It's really important to know where our money goes, right? And I don't think Rudy has ever let us down. And I'm not being disrespectful. We know him as the assemblyman, but he's a friend of this community very much. So I also want to thank the supervisor for always being ready to go to Sacramento with us when we need you to be there. It really strengthens our team. And I think Richard did a good job introducing people we wanted to say thank you to also. So thank you. God bless.
Way to go, Chuck. And as I said before, this project today is a culmination of many parties banding together to help give our community what it needs and deserves. Now, who better to speak about the community and a bit about what this project means for Avenal than our very own Mayor Alvaro Preciado. As part of the council for over a decade, Mayor Preciado has heard the community's needs and along with the rest of council, continues helping direct the staff on the priorities and next steps of growing Avenal into a self-sustaining community. Please help me welcome Mayor Alvaro Preciado.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. I would like to thank the community that showed up today. Gracias a la comunidad por haber venido hoy, estar presentes en este evento muy importante para la ciudad de Avenal. I also would like to thank everyone that came over from the other side of the hills. Usually foggy over there, sunny over here, and today is not an exception. So we're happy about our weather, our little valley on this side of the hills. And I would like to say that when we began this project, we were hopeful that it will be done probably about a year ago. We had the funding. It was predicted to be done, but unfortunately, because of COVID, everything went up in price. I mean, lumber, metal, everything. So we've been struggling. I believe we have spent, about $4 million so far.
Over almost $2 million.
Almost $2 million, but we're looking at it. When it will be done, it will be probably a little over $4 million. Hopefully, hopefully we will there in no time. This is the time to ask everybody to come together to help us, contribute. This is teamwork. This is a community that struggles because we feel isolated from the county headquarters. Whenever our community needs services, they need to travel 40, 45 miles, sometimes 60, 65 miles to Madera Children's Hospital or Fresno. So we really looking to get those, fulfill those needs that the community has with transportation and bringing some of those services here into our community. I also would like to thank council because they've been very supportive of this project. This is actually, we have 5 goals, and this is on top of it. So we're hoping that we get this one accomplished, done, and we'll continue to move with the other 4. We're simultaneously working not only on those 5 goals, but many other projects and things that happen within the city behind closed doors. But our city hall offices are always open to answer questions. If you had any comments, suggestions, please feel free to come over, and the doors will be open. If anybody needs to talk to any council member, I believe they're also willing to be open and free. Myself, Anthony knows, just let me know. I will be more than willing to have a private conversation with any community member, with any agency, with anybody. And with this, I would like to introduce our assembly member for our district, Rudy Salas. I would like to say a few words before that. I also would like to appreciate Richard Valle. I began my political career too with Richard and Rudy actually in 2010. But before that, I was in the planning commission for 2 years, almost 2 years, before being elected to city council in 2010. Richard, Rudy, been there. Whenever I ask them for help for something, they're always stepping up for not for me, but for the community of Avenal. And I really do appreciate that. I also would like to let you know that I did receive a call from Senator Melissa Hurtado on Friday. She was expected to be here today. Alicia Jacobo, she's over there. She's representing Melissa Hurtado. She apologized for not being able to be here today. That day, she got a call from Washington, D.C., asking her to be in Washington, D.C. I believe today they signed the infrastructure bill. So she regrets to be here, but she gave us a rain check. So she'll be visiting the community of Avenal probably in the next couple of weeks. just tending to go into a classroom or maybe a tour of the city or just listen to our community, listen to our city staff, and be part of the team that we're forming here. So with that, I would like to introduce our Assembly Member, Rudy Salas.
All right, good morning, everyone. Buenos días, ¿cómo están? ¿Todo bien? ¿Listos? Let me just say it's a pleasure to be out here in Avenal again. Listening to the mayor talk about starting way back when. I remember when I first started, Mayor Preciado was like, yeah, but come to Avenal. Let's do something. And I think we did. He said, you know what? Let's do a cleanup. Let me see if you show up. And I did. And we did. And we painted over graffiti and we picked up trash here in the city of Avenal. We've been doing this for over a decade now. But it reminds me of those stories about your elected officials, right? And that's what I love about Kings County. That's what I love about not only Mr. Mayor, but the city council members as well. Even the chief, we even get the chief out there doing stuff out in the community. And I see Officer Marks here from CHP, who's always with us as well. And I know last Christmas we were delivering Christmas presents here in the city of Avenal and to the surrounding community. And Richard, Supervisor Valle, has been involved and instrumental in a lot of not only just the policy, but a lot of the community events. And I want to thank him for continuing Operation Gobble in particular. And, Chuck, who spoke earlier, and Chris Com, I mean, those guys are, you heard that expression. Well, there's a lot of expressions, but just know that they are on it. They are on our offices. They will meet with whoever in the Capitol to make sure that things are being done for this community, for all of you. And it doesn't matter who it is. We could be speaking to the Speaker of the Assembly, or we could be speaking to the Pro Tem. They don't flinch, right? They could be with the governor, because at the end of the day, what we all care about is delivering and making something happen for the residents of Avenal, for the residents of King County, and for the residents here in the Central Valley. And I can tell you, it's those stories, it's the stories that you guys share with them, but also share with me, that help make it a little bit easier when we're in the Capitol asking about why the city of Avenal? Why $2 million, which we're celebrating today? Why should we bring money here? Right? And it's because you talk about, where do you get the most bang for your buck? Where do we need the kids to go do something after school so that they're not getting in trouble? Right? Where can you make that difference in someone's life? Well, it's places like the city of Avenal. It's a community like ours where you can make that difference. Right? So I'm just happy to have the opportunity to continue to deliver for not only the city, but the entire Central Valley and here in Kings County. I remember when we celebrated, Chief, you remember this, when we celebrated the money we brought in for the Emergency Operations Center here in the city of Avenal. Because City of Avenal, you guys know, and you talked about it, we're on this side of the hill. If something were to happen, it's like us and Coalinga. Like, what are we going to do? How are we going to make things happen? Right? And so I was happy to help do that. But that's the type of team you have here. So whether it's the city manager, or Canoe, thank you, finding ways to make things happen for our entire community. So, unas palabras en español, nomás quiero decir gracias para estar aquí con nosotros, porque nosotros sabemos que, mira, hay mucho dinero en el Capitolio, también en el gobierno, como dicen, pero nunca nos miramos dónde va el dinero. Pero hoy vamos a mirar que el dinero va a venir aquí, en nuestra comunidad, porque en nuestra comunidad nosotros sabemos que este dinero va a ayudar a muchas familias, le va a cambiar las vidas de los jóvenes, pero también para todos, porque este centro aquí es para todos. Y con este dinero que vamos a traer, le va a ayudar no solamente por todos los programas que van a estar a hacer aquí, pero también en el verano, cuando nosotros sabemos que hay mucho calor. Pues ¿dónde vamos? Porque los biles son caros. Entonces pueden venir aquí. También como ahorita ya va a ser frío, pues ¿dónde vamos a ir? Porque si no tenemos para pagar los biles, ¿dónde podemos ir? y este centro es para ustedes. Y lo más quiero decir de parte de yo y también de Melissa Hurtado, el senador, y de todos los ¿cómo dice? Electivos, oficiales, pues, porque ya están elected, los oficiales, que es una oportunidad, una gran oportunidad para nosotros, para ayudar a la gente y ayudar a la comunidad. Y lo más quiero decir, gracias. Thank you guys for allowing me this opportunity, and all of us, all of your elected officials, the opportunity to make a difference in your lives. Because we know that this money is this $2 million is gonna go towards the HVAC system, right? This is cooling centers when we know how hot it gets in the summer, right? And how cold it gets in the winters. This is gonna be a place for our kids, for our seniors, for our community, and know that in the state capital, you guys are worth it. And we're happy to invest in this community and into all of us. So thank you very much. You want to do a photo?
Is the check here?
I think it's almost about. Let's do a big.
I can wrap
Let's do
it.
a group photo here.
Oh, just one last thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
District attorney.
There we go. So before we break into some last photos, I just want to give last thank yous to everyone. Mayor Preciado, Assemblyman Salas, thank you so very much. Everyone who came here to join us. Everyone's continued support of the city staff has gone a long way. You know, when I was appointed a year ago last October, my motivation in this job is to help build and shape Avenal into a community I would be proud to raise a family in. And we've definitely gotten a long ways, and I can finally see some light at the end of the tunnel. Before we get some pictures and the check, last thank yous I want to give is to all those who have helped us get to this point. Our Public Works Director, Rob Williams, our supervisors, Scott Davis, City Engineer, Brian Skaggs. I think we even brought back the old Public Works Director, Jerry Watson, to help out on this project. Our Community and Economic Development Director, Kanu Yang, and of course, our Community Activity Supervisor, Sheila Verdugo. They're all working hard to complete the center as soon as possible for our residents. And yeah, thank you again to the Senator, to Senator Hurtado and Assemblyman Salas. Done a great job. We'll hopefully get you guys to come out again once we have a grand opening. Yes, and then all our special groups here, the members of the Senior Center, our Rotary Club as well. Thank you all for coming out. Like I said, school district, I believe we have some representatives of Adventist Health as well. So like I said, a labor of love to get this going, and I can't wait to again see everyone back here once we do a grand opening and seeing all of you using this facility. Thank you. All right, now we can get all our elected officials, distinguished guests, come out for a picture.
Let's all come for a picture, guys. A big group community photo in front of the community center. ¿Quieren tomar una foto con nosotros, por favor?
Don't be shy. Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody. Yeah, everybody. All of us. Everybody.
Can we move this?
Do you want to hold the rendering?
We can give it to you.
I guess I'm part of this. Yeah. This picture as well. Right? You want something else? No, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, okay. Come on, Miss Sheila. Hey. How do we turn this off? Everybody's good? Thank you. I want to make sure it wasn't copied out. Is that right?
Disconnect it and then let the cable down. There. We just leave the cable going.
A ustedes no la alcanzo a ver. When you go from the Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Freddie. Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
The chairman of the school district, Loopy.
Loopy. Not Loopy.
Hey, Richard.
Here, grab another one, Richard. Come on, Hobbs. Jerry Berry. Come on, Jerry Bear. Jerry Bear. You're a big part of this.
Find friends on them.
So we're gonna do it with the mask?
Good job, Richard. Good job, Supervisor. Put your mask on if you got it.
On the edge, I can't see you. Bigger smile. Ready? Everybody on the count of three, say Avenal. Avenal! All right. Where are we looking at?
Straight ahead.
I just see a lot of cameras. Thank you. It's hard to be